Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Nettie Owens. I'm with Sapari Solutions, and today I've brought with me Michael Bohannes from Austria to answer the question of what businesses need to know right now. He's definitely going to be answering the burning question of getting onto LinkedIn. I know a lot of people are hopping into this platform with mixed results. I've certainly been the recipient of some maybe not so fabulous exchanges on LinkedIn, and maybe you've been initiating those exchanges. So Michael's going to talk about better ways to do that. He teaches coaches, consultants, professionals, and small B2B companies to find leads on LinkedIn, talk to them naturally, get them on the phone, and sell them their service. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Nettie. Well, amazing introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I want people to know how awesome the folks that I bring onto this are, so I got to give you a good step up to begin with, but it's all well deserved. In fact, you just posted a hilarious, I think, hilarious post, but it certainly got eyes on it, of, I'm going to say it was you, but I don't know, a person standing in a blazer, in their underpants, getting on the internet, doing the live stream, doing all that kind of stuff, and that just caught my attention. So, but all of your posts are very eye-catching and certainly hit a great target market to activate them. What I don't know, what's your creative inspiration, or how do you go about that?
Creative, I think it's these days a lot of people have smart things to say on social media. I do believe that people are getting better at this, so I really believe that it's important to support your content with smart things you say, also with something visually appealing, something eye-catching.
Yeah, so, certainly you caught that. So very, very well done. So let's talk a little bit about, what do businesses need to know about finding new clients, specifically on LinkedIn?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think the main thing that a lot of people don't ask themselves and that they should do is philosophically, what do we want to stand for? What is our method going to be to find leads on LinkedIn? Because, and that applies to marketing generally, like which is the method that we're going to go for? Because every method, most methods that are out there, I don't want to say every, but most methods out there work one way or another. Like if somebody tells you should just do video, focus on video. And it's interesting because I posted about this today. It's just a pure coincidence. But you could, for example, say you just do video and you try to get a huge reach, right? That's possible and it may work for you especially if you're talented on video. Or you could also go the automation, the spam route, what do you call it? Skis fest initially, right? As you mentioned that. So that is possible. You will get leads from that. Well, the question is whether you agree with this philosophically. Or you could do what is more my route that I teach, which is start conversations in a natural way, build some rapport, and then when you see that they have potentially a problem that you could help them with, simply offer them a 15-minute conversation, just like you would at a networking event. And use content to support that. It's not probably going to be the main driver, all right, of your leads. But so that is my method, okay? And you as a business need to decide which of those methods do you align with philosophically. And once you've made this decision, you need to invest the time to master it. That is, I just see too many people saying, yeah, I dabbled with this, I dabbled with that, it didn't work. I think it didn't work because you didn't give it enough time. So that is the main thing that I would recommend people think about, what philosophically aligns with me.
And I think you really nailed it with not putting in the time to any particular methodology. And this is across the board in marketing. So, you put one newsletter out and it doesn't turn results, or you put one post up on Facebook, even if you did it, for a month, it's not enough. It really is consistency, showing up, putting in the work, that's going to turn over the results. And it's true, the folks that are jumping on right now that maybe have not been on this platform before are wondering how to do this. So you're saying, make sure that how you're doing it aligns with you and your methodology, your philosophy, how you would like to connect with people. And then whatever that method is, be consistent about implementing it and showing up. How long do you think they might need? Are we talking like a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year? What do you see gets the most results?
Well, you mean with my method?
What's that?
You mean with my method?
Yes, with your method.
You got it. So with my method, you could literally get a call tomorrow, right? So today was my LinkedIn day, so I spent a lot of time doing social selling, and I booked 2 calls, one for tomorrow, one for the day after tomorrow. And that was because I already know how to do this. If you're new at this, it may take a little longer, but theoretically, if you're a fast learner and if you already, that's key, have experience in approaching strangers in any other setting in the real world, you're going to have a much easier time, because I'm just taking what works in the real world and just translating it online. Start having a friendly conversation and ask them for a quick call, right? And so that can literally work. You can get the next call booked tomorrow, but it may take you a little while before you get the hang of it.
And I love that analogy of just looking at this space as an extension of the non-virtual space. So how would you speak to a person if you were seeing them face to face? What kinds of questions would you ask? You know, would you immediately shove a flyer in their face and say, buy my thing? Or would you like
exactly
how they're doing, you know?
Yeah, I always, like, the other day I asked a prospect, like, so imagine you were at a networking event and you saw somebody who you know is a possible client for you. And what would you ask them? What would you say to them? And he said, well, I would just walk up there and say, and just tell them about my product. It's like, no, you wouldn't do that. The person would run away. You would ask them, do you like the tuna sandwiches, right? They're next to you. Or did you like the last speech that you saw, right? That kind of stuff you talk. Situational questions. That's what you would ask. You're not
Absolutely. So you mentioned that, you know, what you're kind of hearing around the block is that the reach for LinkedIn content is going down. Is that true? Like, what's going on? People are still posting on LinkedIn, but is it just not getting the results? What's happening there?
Well, I generally think that the content party is slowly coming to an end. For example, on LinkedIn, you have significantly wider reach than you would have on other social platforms, because LinkedIn is not yet as saturated as is, for example, Facebook. So you still can get above average organic reach on LinkedIn, but it's declining. And I hear this across the board from anybody who's in that space. So that is a problem, but it also, the question itself implies that content is the main source of leads. And I hear this from many people. They're like, oh my God, I'm terrified that my reach is going down. And I think they shouldn't be, because before you have let's say a following of 20,000, I would put the number roughly there, your biggest bang for the time buck will be you actually starting conversations. The content then plays only a supportive role. So if you start 15 conversations every day, you're going to get outstanding results. Whether the content declines by 30% the next year doesn't matter all that much. It's really the conversations that you start that matter.
Such a good distinction, and that number is just not a number where most people are, 20,000 people, right? So that means that there's a lot of room for a smaller fish to just have natural conversations with real people. And that seems so much less daunting. So I'm guessing then what you're talking about ties in with your own marketing, which is cybernetic social selling. Yeah. We've got like 30 seconds. Can you give us the scoop?
Yeah. So I call it cybernetic social selling because cybernetics is the science of goal-directed, how do I say it? It's essentially outcome-driven goal direction. And it means that you actually are trying to stay human in the conversation, but at the same time, you are pursuing a goal. What is that goal? Getting to a 15-minute conversation, getting them to agree to have a quick phone call with you. And it means that there are 3 stages. First is rapport building, then is exploration, whether they are in the market for your service, and if they are, offer them the call. And you just have to be goal-directed in order to get to that point. So that is the entire model of social selling.
Excellent. Well, I've popped up a link here for people to follow to get more information, to ask you more questions. Can you tell them about it really quickly?
Sure, yeah. So on that page, coaching, I tell you about coaching philosophy and what I offer. And if you click on that button, get a lead on the top, you can also sign up for a free version of my coaching program.
Awesome. Thank you so much.